And welcome to Action Dine Virtual Reality. My name is Matt. We are going to be going over one of my favorite games, Warplanes WW1 Fighters. For the quest, we will dive right in. This is our very first episode, by the way. We're going to start off with some gameplay footage here. And I'm gonna leave the sound out of it because you hear like loud machine guns and engines blaring. But I gotta say, like when you okay, so this isn't maybe this isn't good for beginners. Like if you've never tried VR before, this should not be the first thing that you go to, but it is such a cool experience. If you're starting to get kind of moderately able to handle like motion comfort and VR, this is definitely one to check out. Even if just for the flying, if you're not that into combat, you know, it's an odd question. Hey, are you into combat? Um, but just the flying around it's pretty exhilarating. And I found like early on when I first tried this, I was just kind of like I was too afraid to look either way. But I feel like um by by turning my head and by looking either side, it actually helped. Look at this skillful takedowns. I don't think it was this easy in World War I, but I was doing pretty good on this run. I do not know which side I was playing on, but didn't matter at the moment. This game is so cool. It really gave me like an appreciation for. I mean, these 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 people were just in these like wooden, rickety, almost like glued with paper, and they just had nerves of steel to be doing this. It's pretty incredible. But this game is fun to play by yourself. It is a lot of fun to play with someone else. I will be showing some of that in another video, but this one's kind of mostly covering the core game itself. There's a lot of different missions. There's some at night if you have a hard time with dark, uh, you know, vision stuff. Some of the night missions can be missions can be a little, uh, maybe a little tougher for you. As you can see here, you get a flare gun, and this isn't in any of the other ones, just in the World War I game. But you can see here we go, expert shot right there. I don't know if it would have been possible to actually take out a plane with the flare gun in World War I, but it's really challenging because you've got to get close, but it's pretty rewarding when you can pull it off. You can see I'm trying so many times here to pull it off. I mean, at that range, I almost could just shoot him with the gun there, but I'm like, no, I gotta. That's a lot of fun. Yeah, that totally sidetracked me because of its awesomeness. If you play this game, this is something you got to try. Just the flare gun challenge. And that's the fun thing is this thing's just sitting in the cockpit with you. You just grab it like you grab the controls. And speaking of controls, let's move on to some of that, shall we? So these are the controls and the settings. Yeah, it's literally like you can grab the throttle, the joystick, but you're also able to use the thumbsticks. Now, for comfort, I noticed the dynamic comfort mode has like a dial, and then there's comfort mode that has a slider. I did not try either of those, so I don't know. Like, I don't know. I'm sure it's doing some vignette, some peripheral blinding is my guess. But this is where you can change the volume, and there's a few things with the controllers, and I think I noticed B haptics. I haven't tried one of those B haptics suits that you wear to feel stuff. I don't know what you would. You just feel the engine vibrating. I don't know. That might be a little much. I'm going to show you a couple other. Let me see if I can find that here. Come on. The mission select screen. You're actually kind of standing near your plane, which is kind of cool. There is a customization. You can, paint and add decals to it. If you're into that sort of thing, decorating your airplane can be helpful if you're playing with your friends. If you have to have a noticeable paint job, and it maybe can look kind of cool coordinating something. But this game has changed a little bit in how you select the map. Maybe I'm not used to playing single player, but I don't remember the map. But when you play multiplayer, you just kind of more or less get a list of missions, and kind of gives you a detail of what you're going to be going after. If you're going to be going after boats or bombers or fighters or what, which is good because you kind of want to pick a plane. And there's this thing with like, you can see I'm looking at flights like change status. So you have like a main plane, and then you have like a couple others that you can apparently now switch back and forth between mid-flight. This is something I feel like is kind of new. I don't remember that, but again, I've usually only played multiplayer on this. So this recording was actually one of the first times I had ever tried the single player version of it. Let's see what else we've got here. And I had another encounter with so you can see the settings that are available from this menu as well. Some of the same stuff. This one I was kind of struggling with. But yeah, this is where you would kind of, choose your planes and choose your mission. So back onto some gameplay. I think I got my music on too loud. There we go. Okay. So this one, you already saw that. Here we go. And I'm sorry, as you can see, my Guardian show up every time I glance down. That's a setting. And then when I look up, you see the move settings. I think there'd be an option to shut those off in a recording, but whatever. I can turn those off for next time. This plane is funny because you're sitting kind of right in the front, and there's no propeller there. It just kind of feels like you're sitting in a bucket. But the view is cool, And this particular plane, you can just kind of grab the gun and aim it that way while no one's flying the plane. They've added a compass. I don't remember that being there, but the bombs there, you can see on the side of the plane, you literally just grab one in your hand. So there's no like bomb door, because this is how it was. And you get that little thing to kind of mark off about where it's going to hit, so you know when to let go and try not to crash. The sky visuals they're very beautiful. There's not a lot of detail on the ground, but again, this is running natively on the Quest, so this is pretty good. It looks pretty good, and it's a lot of fun. So yeah, you can see here just taking out some, sometimes it's sea battles, sometimes land battles, sometimes you're taking out like a convoy, like a train or a bunch of trucks, something like that. So there's a variety of stuff. I'll skip through this. I don't know if I did anything truly epic with this one. But getting to master like how to bring the flaps down, there's a little lever for that on the side, but you can use your thumbsticks for all the controls except for actual steering. Maybe you can. Maybe that's what they were just hinting at there. So, but you can see all the controls right here in front of you on that little book. And then that little book is usually where they show like mission specs. When you're in multiplayer, you get an added little box for like team chat, like voice chat. And I've noticed when doing multiplayer on this one that if you're using the built-in like voice chat party with, that's part of the quest, I've had to bring down the music volume and the sound effects volume in this game for whatever reason. Maybe I'm doing something wrong, but I typically don't use the in-game voice chat because it's just easier to get a party started with your friends and then hop into a game once you've established communication. So that's just the way I do it. But anyway, this is another little solid run here. Look at that, chewing through them. So this game's a blast. This should be on your list of cool games. Now, how this one is different than, they've now got a third game coming out soon. How this one is very different and why you would still want this one along with the other two is this one's definitely the slower paced one of the three because you're in like a rickety wooden aircraft. They don't go very fast. They're pretty maneuverable. And so generally the other planes are a lot easier to shoot down as well because like no one's really able to, out move each other. So the second one is definitely more fast paced. But there's extra, more, it's a little more modernized aircraft. And the third one that just came out only in App Lab, it's in beta. I'll be doing a video on that very shortly. So that's about all I've got to say about this one. And I hope you enjoyed our very first video here at Action Dyne Virtual Reality. Take care.